What's up guys? Today's video is going to be completely unlike any video I've previously made before because of some unforeseen circumstances yesterday.
We begin with an update on Monday's major earthquake in western Japan.
The quake, with an initial magnitude of 5.9, later revised up to 6.1.
It was a violent tremor. I thought something fell from the sky.
I'm fine, my partner Ali is also fine, and my friends are fine. In light of that, I decided to do this video instead of my previously scheduled regular vlog upload on Tuesdays. This earthquake struck at 7:58 in the morning in Takatsuki, which is a city between Osaka and Kyoto, about 27 kilometers from where I was at the time. The earthquake that struck was 6.1 magnitude, and I've never been outside during an earthquake, let alone one that strong. It's the strongest one I've ever experienced. I was on my way to school at the time, and initially I felt some rumbling in the ground and I thought it was a large cargo train. And the tremors got stronger and more violent, and I saw the buildings shaking and the power lines and electricity poles also shaking. And it was a really scary moment. At that point, I realized I didn't really know what to do. I was familiar with how to deal with an earthquake inside, find safety in a strong part of the room, away from anything that can fall on top of you. If you can, take shelter under like a piece of furniture, like a desk or something like that. But I was out in the open, and my initial instincts were to just stay clear of the buildings and the power lines that may fall down. Luckily, nothing happened. No buildings were damaged around me, nothing fell. I continued on my way to school, and by the time I got to school, there was a gathering in the school quad of all the students and teachers. In times of emergencies in Japan, people gather at schools in an open space like the school quad. However, in yesterday's earthquake, it was just the school students and the teachers that were there. Unfortunately, there were also 4 casualties yesterday as a result of the earthquake, and the most heartbreaking of them was a 9-year-old girl who was walking on her way to school. She was crushed by the outside wall of her elementary school, which collapsed on top of her. I can't imagine what her parents are going through, and also the fact that this was completely preventable makes it extra upsetting. They've admitted that the wall wasn't structurally sound and up to earthquake safety standards. The only saving grace of the whole incident was that there were no other students hurt or killed as she was walking alone. Elementary school students in Japan walk in groups towards school, and the reason she was walking alone was that she had to get in early because she had a leadership role at the school. Yesterday, my Kyoto sensei, my vice principal, told me how the earthquake brought back memories of the great Hanshin earthquake of 1995. On January 17th, 1995, a magnitude 7.3 earthquake struck the city of Kobe, a mere 15 kilometers from where I was yesterday. Claiming over 6,400 lives, it was Japan's second most deadly earthquake of the 20th century. The most deadly being the 1923 Great Kanto earthquake, which claimed over 140,000 lives. That earthquake was a 7.9 magnitude. The Great Hanshin earthquake of 1995 is a painful memory to many of those who reside in Kobe, because they lost loved ones in the disaster. On Kobe's waterfront at American Park, they've left an area untouched to remind people of the damage that the earthquake had caused. There is also the Hanshin Earthquake Museum in Kobe, which I intend to visit one day. And every December they hold a commemorative light festival called the Luminaria, which I've made a video about and you can see up here if you'd like. Japan receives about 20% of the world's earthquakes, so we live with that threat on a daily basis. Children are taught how to handle the situation through regular drills throughout their school life, so it becomes second nature to them. Yes, it is something that is scary, and it's something that is on my mind, but it's at the back of my mind. I wouldn't say that it keeps me up at night, but at the same time, I am prepared. Especially after yesterday's earthquake, it's renewed a preparedness in me. So then comes the obvious question, why am I living in Japan when there is the threat of earthquakes and possible attacks from North Korea? Well, that's a complicated question to answer. Sure enough, if things went south, my partner and I would leave at the drop of a hat. But the fact remains that the job situation in Australia is really tough. Here, my partner and I, we work in jobs that we both really enjoy. Now, is all of that worth your life? No, it's not, but also the fact is, life is full of uncertainties. You may die tomorrow in an earthquake or a missile attack in Japan, or you may die 10 years down the track being hit by a bus in Australia. You never know. Last year, when North Korea was volleying missiles in the direction of Japan, things got very scary. And that was when we put our emergency kits together, including potassium iodide tablets, which block radiation. And that was when things got really scary, and we did have trouble sleeping at night during that time period. So then that brings me to my emergency kit, which I've got just here. Emergency bags can be purchased online or at hardware stores or sporting goods stores, but we put our kits together using items from Daiso and Amazon. So I'm going to open up the bag and show you a few of the things that I've got inside. In the bag, I've got my first aid kit, bandages and medicine and antiseptic in there. I also have, this is kind of like just my tool bag and hardware kit. Inside here I've got flashlights. This is a solar powered radio, tape and rope, soap, magnifying glass, compass, whistle is in there somewhere. This is a hand cranked flashlight as well, and extra batteries and matches, and a headlamp, work gloves, cable ties. I have some extra clothes and towels. This is my medicine bag. It's got things like sunscreen, and these are the potassium iodide tablets, Panadol, and antiseptic creams, etc. Over here is my dust masks as well. Here is a plastic water flask, raincoats, plastic bags for sanitation, and a tarp for shelter. And that's pretty much my emergency bag. I'm going to end the video there. My name is Lin Nyunt. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a completely different video than the ones that I usually make. I think it's important to highlight the realities of living here, the good and the bad. As you know, I make a video every single week. If you found this video helpful or insightful, please leave a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I'm going to leave you with something a little bit more upbeat. One of my Instagram stories that I did a couple of days ago. See ya. Okay, normal Coke, lemon Coke plus vitamins, that's kind of weird. Coke Zero, Coke Plus, I don't know what that is. Clear Coke, what the hell is this? So a few days ago, Coke Clear made its world debut here in Japan. Let's try it. That is so weird. It tastes like Coke Zero with like a lemon hit. But how do they make it clear? That's what I want to know. This can't be good for you.